Hey, it's Josephine from the Pointe Shop. We are doing a pointe shoe fitting at the Oakland showroom, and I'm with Coco today, who's getting her very first pair of pointe shoes. Actually, Elsiana did this pointe shoe fitting, who is going to be the Oakland pointe shoe fitter. So I did no work today, but I'm just gonna show you the 3 pairs of pointe shoes that she picked out and what she's gonna go home with today. Can you stand up for me? So for your very first pair of pointe shoes, the most important thing is to be able to control your shoes, because if your shoes are just doing all the work for you, then you're not really improving very much. So you want a pointe shoe that's gonna definitely help you get stronger, more flexible, and teach you great alignment and make sure that you know where to balance. I was kind of looking at the pointe shoe fitting off this side here, but Coco has pretty good ankles and feet. Can you tendu towards me? Very good. So you can see that there's like this nice little slope here. Sometimes I get some dancers that have pretty rigid ankles. Can you relax your ankles? And even if they point, they have this little slope that comes up. If you have that little slope that goes up that way, the other direction, it's kind of difficult to get over on your pointe shoes, but Coco has a nice little slope here, first position. Her second toe is slightly longer, but not long enough to call it like a true taper. We don't really need much. She doesn't have any spaces between her toes. Her toes are nicely even. So we're not going to really put a lot of things on her toes. Sometimes I'll put a spacer on there or something on her big toe to kind of even out the toes. But for Coco, we're just going to do a toe pad. This is just the standard toe pad that we start out with. And she's actually medium profile, so she's not too shallow or too high. So she can wear a lot of different pointe shoes. Go ahead and have a seat for me. So we're trying out a couple different pairs, and then we're gonna go from the softest to the hardest. So we're gonna pick out which one she has the most control over, as well as the shoe that has the most stability. Okay, so we're gonna start out with something really soft. And generally speaking, I start with something a little bit softer at the beginning so that the dancer can really articulate through her feet a little bit better, but you have to kind of figure out if the shoe is giving you enough support as well. So it should be supportive while you're able to control the shoe. Stand up for me. We're kind of doing the Goldilocks model today, the soft, medium, and hard. Demi-plie. Very good, press up on both feet. So this one, she wobbled a little bit, especially on the left. Even though she's bending the shoe really nicely, this one is going a little bit towards the pinky, so we want to try something that might have a little bit more stability. Even when I'm looking at her from the side, there's a little bit of micro movement on the top of her toes. So we might want to have something that is a little bit more stable so that she can learn to find her center or center of the platform. Okay, so this is the softest. So we're gonna switch to something that might be a little bit harder so that she can get a little bit more support. So we're gonna put that one away. So this is kind of a medium shank. Okay, and the other one too, the slightly softer shoe, even though this doesn't have anything to do with the shank, it did twist a little bit, so maybe it wasn't like the perfect shape for her. Can you stand up for me? Okay, very good. First position, demi-plie. Is it pressing anywhere? Good, straighten. Bring your right foot up on point. Press up on both feet. So yeah, this definitely is twisting a little bit less. She's moving a little bit less now. These definitely look a little bit more stable to me. Come down for me and have a seat. And with Coco's ankles, you'll notice that she almost looks the same regardless of what shank strength she's in. So it's really about stability more than anything, because when she points her feet, that means that she's pretty strong in her ankles. That's a good sign. Usually if you're really weak, then you're going in a lot of different directions, and then there's a really big difference between a soft shank and a hard shank. But because her ankles retain her shape and her strength, regardless of if I give her a soft shoe or a hard shoe, she's getting over just as much. So this has a slightly higher vamp and it is a harder shank. Step up onto both. Okay, very good. So this one is just a little bit too hard. So even though it's pretty stable and she's able to get up on point, it's not going to do much for her because the shoe's not bending. She's not controlling the shoes as much. So I think the medium shank was actually the best option for her, and I think Elsiana agrees with me too. Still easy to balance on because it's stable. come down for me, but she's able to roll through on her feet and then strengthen her feet at the same time. So I'm gonna try on the medium Shank one last time. Okay. So sometimes you won't see a huge difference between different Shank strengths, but what you do in class is going to be a pretty big difference. So as long as Coco is comfortable in her shoes, we want to choose the shoe that she's going to improve the most in while maintaining her stability. Feet, straighten your knees. Okay, so we're going to send her home with the medium Shank today. This is like definitely the Goldilocks shoe. So she is stable, but she is getting over on her Pointe shoes. She's still able to roll through with these. You can't tell at the beginning, but she'll definitely have a little bit more stability and strengthening there. Okay, come down for me. In the first position. So if you guys are in the Bay Area, we are fitting in Oakland, and if you're in Orange County, we have a showroom in Santa Ana as well. So if you guys are in the area, you can make an appointment. I'm gonna have all of those links at the bottom. If you have any questions about your Pointe shoes, then leave it on the comments and I'll try to address that in the next video. Thank you so much.